Yo. Now, some of you may remember that a couple of months ago I did a list of video games or computer games that I thought people should play. Ones that included stuff like Cognition, Machinarium, and the Lego games, which I all thought were pretty good. But I recently came into the possession of another one that I think, if you haven't tried it, I would strongly suggest giving it a go. Now, I've never been particularly one for the kind of newest games, the hottest ones on the market. I mean, when I was in high school, there was always supposedly a music button that everyone always had their kind of. Everyone apart from me always had their kind of finger on the pulse of music, so they knew what was coming out. And when I said, "Well, I listen to," they go, "Oh, come on, that stuff's old." With video games, it was pretty much the same. I mean, I don't mind playing something that's kind of 6 months old or even older. I'm not one who has my finger on the pulse of kind of new video game technology. I mean, kind of for many years, the only console that I actually had was a PlayStation 2. But yeah, I don't mind the older stuff. And the game that I've recently picked up is technically now over 10 years old, but it's from what I've seen of it and what I've played of it, it holds up incredibly well. This was the 2008 release game Mirror's Edge. So some of you might have heard of it. It's quite famous, but now I may get the kind of basics of the plot wrong here, so just don't hold me to this. The plot of it kind of follows a runner, a kind of parkour expert named Faith Connors, and it's kind of set in a weird city world where there's kind of this mega corporation and they're trying to oppress the people, yada yada yada, and kind of Faith acts as a runner, a kind of group of people who deliver supplies to kind of the people on the ground levels. Yeah. However, when her sister is seemingly framed for the murder of a businessman slash boss, she has to kind of go through her parkour skills and try and find out who's framing her sister and why. And I'll admit there is kind of some disadvantages and some advantages to kind of playing the game this late on. I mean, it might just be kind of with all the superhero shows from the past few years, but when I saw the relationship between Faith and her sister Kate, it reminded me very much so of Cara Danvers and Alex Danvers from Supergirl. Kind of, it had that kind of dynamic of one sister kind of has these superhuman abilities and does things outside the law, whereas the other one works within the law but is kind of hesitant about her sister, but is prepared to do most things for her. And I kind of got the same feel with these sisters. I mean, I know other people have said this before, but the game, even 10 years old, it's beautiful. It's some of the best animation that I've ever seen, especially in kind of computer games. And I I eventually kind of discovered this because I saw it on kind of quite a few lists of stuff like, well, from the YouTuber Did You Know Gaming, that they said that when Smash and Bottle Rocket were developing the unreleased Flash game, one of the things that they looked to were The Incredibles and the original Mirror's Edge, which I can see why they'd want to do that, because it is quite a stunning game, and the cityscape particularly is particularly good. And it also showed up on lists of games that trolled pirates. But I brought my I bought my edition of the game properly. I played it through, and while I admit it's not the easiest game in the world, and there were certain areas where I did get stuck for quite a while, such as one area where I only technically had to get to a specific door where there were a load of guards, and you practically had to kill all of them before you would gain enough peace in order to be able to access where you needed to go. The game, it's simple enough to understand. I mean, I had to technically play through the tutorial twice as there came a point in the game when I realised I didn't entirely understand originally how the combat worked, or I'd forgotten in the interim. But yeah, I went back, went over the tutorial once again, played it through. This time I was able to kind of get past the part that had originally caused me trouble and continue on my way. And it is still a great game, even 10 years on. So I'd advise anyone who hasn't played Mirror's Edge, if you're one of these kind of compete against people, if you haven't played it, I'd say give it a shot. It's a really good game. And even 10 years on, you don't have to kind of be playing the newest stuff. You don't have to play it once. You could kind of keep going back and forth and replay some of the levels. It's a really good game and really beautiful, especially for 2008 value. I mean, 2008 I would have been finishing primary school, just starting high school, so that's probably why I didn't kind of see it at the time. But it is still a really good one, and I advise you, if you haven't, check it out. It's a really good game. I'll have to see what other gems I discover in the future. Anyway, see ya.